Hey there, multi-prep teachers. You know how professional development never seems to quite get to what we need? It's like, great idea, but how do I make this work when I have 3+ preps to juggle? That's exactly why I created the Simplify Your Preps Collective. It's a free Facebook group built just for teachers like you, where we share tips, resources, and real talk about making multi-prep teaching less overwhelming and more doable. Sound like your kind of space? Head to kristenmasick.com/collective and join us today. Let's simplify together. Our school district did recently purchase the full district license use of an AI tool. And so I've been hearing a lot about the struggle of using AI in the classroom. There is no doubt that AI is here to stay, and teachers are being bombarded with new tools and strategies and tech jargon every day. Even this tool that we have for our district has a ton of sub-tools, and it's just overwhelming. I wanted to hit pause on all that and have a candid conversation about what's going wrong when teachers try to use AI, and most importantly, how to get it right. Back when I first started experimenting with AI, I remember getting stuck in a rabbit hole of new apps and shiny tech. I remember all over social media, there were advertisements and different influencers trying all sorts of different AI tools, and I wasn't sure which one to try. I would even go to conferences and have full sessions where I remember one, and we went into, I think, about 45 different AI tools that this principal was using on the regular. And I just ended up being overwhelmed, burnt out, and honestly more confused than when I started. Does this sound familiar? If so, this episode is for you. Welcome to the Secondary Teacher Podcast, the podcast for middle and high school teachers juggling multiple preps to get the strategies to reduce overwhelm so that you don't have to choose between being an effective teacher and prioritizing important relationships. I'm your host, Kristen Masick, a 10-year high school engineering teacher, former middle school assistant principal, and teacher coach. Every week, we will discuss strategies, systems, and time-saving tips to help you not only survive but thrive as a multiple prep teacher. Let's jump right into the mistakes that I have been seeing. Let's start with the biggest mistake I see: believing you need the perfect tool. I can't tell you how many times I've heard, oh, I'd love to use AI, but we don't have the budget for some sort of fancy tool or for the training for this particular system. The truth is, you don't need any of that to make AI work in your classroom. Instead, what you really need is a focus on strategy. Think about, you wouldn't buy the latest kitchen gadget if you don't even know what you're cooking for dinner. The same goes for AI. Start with what you have, whether it's a free chatbot or a language-based tool you already use for other tasks. That's where you are going to want to start. Here's an example. If you've ever spent an hour making slide decks for 3 different classes or more, let's simplify that. Use a language-based AI like ChatGPT or any other tool that allows you to have conversations back and forth with an AI to brainstorm key points for your presentation. Then copy and paste those into your template, tweak for each class, and boom, you just saved an hour. And that brings us to mistake number 2, using AI as a replacement rather than a support. This is a huge one. So many teachers think, well, if AI is doing all the work, where do I fit in? The answer is you fit everywhere. AI is not here to replace your voice, your creativity, or your expertise. It's here to support it. A place I see this a lot, and that happened to me, is when it comes to grading. There have been AI tools that you have probably been using for years, especially when it comes to auto grading. When I was using my LMS, I would use the quiz feature, and it would allow me to auto grade, and then it would auto populate those grades into the grade book. And it was fabulous. I felt like I saved so much time. But what ended up happening is that the grades didn't actually reflect my feedback, and I, as a teacher, did not really understand where my students were because I wasn't taking the time to look at that data after it had actually just graded. What I had to do is I switched my approach. I was able to still use the self-graded AI tools, or those tools within my LMS, but my job was to regularly look at that feedback so that I could make adjustments to my teaching, my reteaching, my bell ringers, everything else, to make sure that I helped those students succeed after they had taken those quizzes, so that when they were given their post assessments or final assessments, they were proficient in the standards. Which leads perfectly into the third mistake: not using AI for big picture planning and curriculum mapping. Teachers, I get it. You've got 1,000 tasks on your plate. It's tempting to just use AI for those day-to-day quick wins. But one of the best ways to leverage AI is in the big picture, like planning your entire semester, mapping out your curriculum, and even brainstorming differentiation ideas. And the best part, you can do all of this with language-based AI tools you probably already have access to. Is a quick win tip. Sit down with a uniplan you're already working on. Plug in your standards and objectives and ask your AI tool to suggest activities and lesson sequences to meet these standards. You'll be amazed at the fresh ideas that pop up and how quickly you can sketch out a whole unit. You have it. The 3 biggest mistakes I see teachers making when they first try to use AI in the classroom. And remember, it's not about having all the latest gadgets or feeling like you need to automate everything. It's about finding that balance, using AI where it makes your life easier while still keeping the heart of your teaching intact. Here's my challenge for you. Pick one task you do often. Maybe it's lesson planning, brainstorming ideas, or even creating bell ringers, and experiment with using AI to cut that time in half. Give it a shot and DM me your results over on Instagram at Kristen Massick, KHRISTENMASSIC. I'd love to see what you've come up with. All right, that's it for today's episode. Thanks for hanging out with me. Remember, AI isn't here to replace you, it's here to help you. Let's keep that in mind as we plan for next week. Until next time.